In the last section, we finished up our Ingress Nginx configuration, and then we applied it using kubectl. We can now test out our application inside the browser because we should have just created everything that's going to essentially get traffic into our application and then route it off to the appropriate service. To test this stuff out, we're going to flip over to our terminal and we're going to get the IP of our Minikube virtual machine. So I'm going to run Minikube IP, and then I'll copy this IP address and I'll visit it inside of my browser. Now this time around, we do not have to specify a port on this IP because the service that we have created is automatically listening on both ports 80 and 443 for us. And by default, your browser is going to default to either port 80 or 443, depending upon whether or not you are using a HTTPS connection. All right, so when I go there, you're gonna very quickly see a big security message appear on the screen. Now, I've already bypassed that warning message, but when you first navigate to this IP address, it's going to tell you, hey, danger, there's a security issue here. At the bottom left-hand side of that config or that error message, you'll see a little like get more info button. Go ahead and click on that button, and then you can click on proceed anyway. So at present, our Nginx configuration is attempting to force anyone who comes to our page to use a HTTPS connection as opposed to HTTP. By default, the Nginx Ingress is going to use a kind of dummy certificate. So if you click on Not Secure up here, and then click on Certificate, you'll see that it has a name of Kubernetes Ingress Controller Fake Certificate. And as you might guess, a fake certificate is not going to be accepted by Chrome at large. So the error message that you're seeing is going to be something that we're only going to have locally in development. When we eventually push this off to production, we're going to fix this error message, but for right now in development, we're just going to let this sit as is. You only have to click past that error message screen one time. After you click there at least one time, you should be able to refresh the page, and you're not going to see the error again. You're just going to see the HTTPS error, which is something that we can essentially palette right now for development purposes. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We should now be able to test out our application by entering in some index. I'll submit that, I'll refresh the page, and then I should see all my numbers appear. So if you see all this stuff appear correctly, that means that your entire Kubernetes cluster is completely set up and ready to go for development purposes. So I think that we've got a great project here so far. Let's take a pause right now. When we come back to the next section, we're going to start thinking how we can migrate this project to a production environment. So quick break, and I'll see you in just a minute.